Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I hope everybody has had a great week and I hope everyone is having a super weekend so far. For those of you celebrating Christmas, a very Merry Christmas to wherever you are in this beautiful world. Hi Janeel, welcome Kyber, welcome to our members. Everyone, in this class, we are looking at IELTS Task 2 Writing, and we're looking to complete a Band 9 essay. Yesterday, we started this essay. If you missed that class, no worries. If you were there, great. We'll go through the question and the introduction here shortly at the beginning of class. Thank you for the Christmas wishes, Kyber and Pushpendra. Students, this lesson is brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Please visit us there. For general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. On both of those websites, we have tons of information to help you with your upcoming IELTS exam, including the writing section. All you have to do is just click this big red button right there above my head to join the premium package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, and we will be using this website in our next class where everybody can join the chat that's coming up in 90 minutes, and that will be a speaking part 1 section where we will actually speak with our viewers around the world to practice your speaking. So that's coming up in 90 minutes, and we're going to use this website. So you can register by clicking the green button, the try demo, or you can just get the full version by clicking the red button. For general IELTS, same idea, green background, click the big red button, again, just above my head there. We are an official IELTS test registration center and certified agents, so you are in great hands with us. We've been at this a long time, we know what we're doing, and we're here to help you achieve your necessary scores for school or for immigration. Welcome Hasna. Hi Arminder. Hotran. Nice to have so many people in the class. That is wonderful. Students are apps. When you go to your app store, it's Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. Download the apps, link them to the websites. Also join our Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp and GIELTS Help. You can reach out to us through Instagram, get our daily vocabulary and schedule, and you can email me as well if you have questions, adrian@aehelp.com. And I don't often say this, but if you just want some exam books to practice for your upcoming test, you can go to Amazon and you can get our books from Amazon. Search for our exam titles. Our IELTS exams are very, very similar to the Cambridge exams. AE helps Academic IELTS and GE helps General IELTS. There's a couple exam books there for each, so check that out. So right now we still have a class. It's Christmas, but we're working hard and we're getting smarter. And then we have a break for 3 days. That's usual. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, no live class, but we always have HD classes and videos coming out on our YouTube channel. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Welcome Rumi. Hi Jalal from Malaysia. And then next week, the 29th, Wednesday, we start with some live classes again. And we're going all the way through the new year, right into 2022. So stick with us and learn, have fun. Students, let's get into today's IELTS writing task 2. So this was the question that we looked at yesterday. Here we go. Let's go over this, and then we're going to develop the body paragraphs and the conclusion. I want to give lots of chances to our members to contribute so I can give you feedback. Here we go, everyone. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task. It's a good idea to spend the full 40 minutes because it's worth 2/3 of your writing mark. Okay. Welcome, Andre Jyoti. A Merry Christmas to you as well, Carolina, our chat moderator. Thank you for joining. It's fantastic. People are very, very studious. So many students joining in on Christmas. I'm sure some of you are celebrating today as well. So stay safe and be happy. Okay, everyone. Here we go. This was the question. Let's just review it before diving into our response. Some people feel the best way to spend a holiday season like Eid, Christmas, or Diwali is to travel and explore, while others feel this time is better spent at home relaxing. Discuss both of these views and give your own opinion. Use examples and explanations from your own experience. You have to write at least 250 words. Again, just a reminder, students, that band 7 to 9 essays are closer to 300, even 320 words. Okay, so 250 is the absolute minimum. You do not get a penalty if you go over, but you do get a penalty if you go under. In fact, you usually have to go over to give enough detail and clarity for those higher band scores. So keep that in mind. Okay, so step 1, we paraphrased this question. And that was that. And then we identified the topic. We realized that, okay, here we're talking about the best ways to spend the holidays. And then the controlling idea is to go on a trip or to stay at home. We have to discuss both sides, so you have to do that to get good marks. Okay. And then we discussed what this is, why people have these differences of opinion. We realized that it has a lot to do with individual choice and individual context, whether somebody has the time, the money to go on a trip versus staying at home. Okay. And eventually, after a bit of planning, we ended up with our introductory paragraph, which has our hook, our background, and our thesis. Okay, so essays in English, and I would probably argue, or I would infer that essays in other languages as well have very similar kinds of structure. Okay, now this is a structure that's taught to most students in a lot of English-speaking countries like Canada, US, UK, Australia, New Zealand. In grade, now they kind of start teaching this in grade 9, maybe in some schools even earlier, but definitely by grade 10, and then by grade 11 and grade 12, learning different types of essay writing is a big part of English classes, and then that's continued through college and university. I'm not sure if you know this, members and viewers. I don't think I've ever mentioned this maybe, but first year English for almost any degree, whether you're doing engineering or drama theater, or mathematics, biology. First year university English is a prerequisite for, I want to say, every single degree out there, but definitely 98% of them, if not all of them. Okay, I've never heard of a degree, a university degree, that does not require first year English as a prerequisite. Okay, and first year English in university is definitely a bit more challenging than IELTS. So for those of you who are planning to study abroad, just keep in mind that you will be required at some point to complete your first year English, university English. And for that, they will require that you have a strong foundation in the principles of essay writing. So the different kinds of essays, different types of voice of the author. Okay, so keep that in mind. Everybody got that? So I know that some of our members are here because they're planning to do university abroad. And it's important to keep in mind so it doesn't shock you. You're not like, whoa, what? I thought IELTS was it. I did IELTS, I got my English score, and now I'm ready to learn just chemistry. Not quite. There's one more level of English, and that's first year university. You can often do that in college as well. So college has first year university equivalency English. Okay, so but be ready for that. All right, that's coming your way if you're planning to do a bachelor's in an English university. Okay, everybody's like, yeah, all right. Okay, so anyway, back to point here. So here's the introduction, hook, background, thesis. Yeah, so Janil says I had English subjects in my first 2 years in university. Yeah, so it's unavoidable. You got to do it. Okay, so here we go. Our hook, background, thesis. We're just reviewing this. So here's the hook. People often argue about the best ways to spend the holidays. Notice how my hook introduces the topic. Okay, just a quick reminder that that's important to do in the hook. Okay. Farhan is asking a quick question too. Is IELTS better than Duolingo? Yeah, Farhan, IELTS is way better than Duolingo because Duolingo is not accepted in nearly as many places as IELTS. So if you decide to change schools or if you have to change your applications, you might have to do IELTS anyway. So Duolingo is, in my opinion, and the PTE exam as well, is not nearly as useful as IELTS, both for applications and for actual English knowledge. Okay. So here we go. Background. Most individuals get a week or more break from work and school during holiday season, such as Christmas, Eid, or Diwali, to spend personal time either at home or on a trip. Okay, so here I'm defining what this is. So I'm giving a definition of these vacation times. It's a kind of a week break. And then it's personal time, right? So this is my definition. And then here, it is important that every person feels refreshed and happy after the festive season. So why is that important? Why are we talking about this? Therefore, it is better to go away for the holidays when this is the most rewarding for the individual. However, it is ideal to stay at home when this is needed and enjoyed. I mostly favor the former rather than the later because it's the most fulfilling for me. Okay? All right. So I'm telling my reader that I'm going to discuss both sides. I'm telling the reader that I'm going to include my own opinion as well. All right, so here we go, everyone. Let's get into body paragraph 1. Now, body paragraphs have, again, several pieces that kind of just fit together, okay? They have your topic sentence, which is your key point 1. In this case, our key point 1 is traveling for the holidays. Okay. So that's your topic sentence. And then after the topic sentence, you have an explanation. And then after the explanation, you have an example. And then after your example, you have a connecting, concluding sentence. Okay, so these are the 4 parts of a body paragraph. And in the IELTS, you're basically looking to write about a sentence, one good, clear sentence for each one of these. Okay, all right. Okay, so here is our thesis, or my thesis, the one that I wrote. I remember Kyber and a couple others wrote their thesis as well, a little bit differently, which is totally fine. It doesn't all have to be the same. There's different ways to write a good essay. Let's see, this is my thesis here, okay? And again, as I said, the thesis shows the structure of the essay. So it basically tells the reader that this is going to be point 1, and it's going to be body paragraph 1 as well, okay? So point 1, body paragraph 1. Okay, is this one here. Now, there we go. So let's do that. That's point 1. So for the topic sentence, what I want to do is I want to give more of an explanation. So basically paraphrase this in my topic sentence while giving a little bit more detail to the reader. Okay, now don't forget this sentence here as well, my opinion. So here I said, I mostly favor the former rather than the later because it is the most fulfilling for me. Okay, so this means that in my opinion, it's actually this first point, this first kind of idea that I really like, which means I like to travel for the holidays rather than to stay at home. To be honest with all of you, I'm not sure if that's true. I really like to stay at home as well, but I do have to pick a side. Okay, it's not good to say I like both depending on my feelings. That doesn't make for the best essay or the most interesting essay. So here I just decided to go with the first one. And so I want to make sure that I reflect my opinion in my body paragraphs as well. I noticed that some IELTS candidates, what they're doing is they're not giving their opinion until the conclusion, and that's not a great way of writing. Does anybody know why? So what's the logic? Like, why isn't it the best to leave your opinion until the very last paragraph, until the conclusion? Anybody have an idea on that? And while you're thinking about that, you can also get going on the topic sentence for this as well. So it's better to include your own personal opinion or your own personal choice, at least in a couple points throughout the essay. So notice how here I've included it already in my thesis. Now I'm going to include it in my first body paragraph, and you bet I'm going to include it in the conclusion as well. So Mien says, because it can make the reader confused if you just put it in at the end. Okay. Yeah, me, absolutely. So when you put in your opinion at the very end, then it's kind of, it's very sudden and surprising to the reader, and it's unconvincing. So when you only have your opinion at the very end of your essay, it's hard to convince your reader that that's the best choice or that's your position, because it's kind of like, oh, okay, now you're telling me your opinion. Where was it all this time, right? Why should I believe you now? You're just at the end of your essay, right? So, yeah, and Pushpendra says the reader has to read the whole essay to actually get to your idea, which can be very uninteresting. Okay, if I'm reading a whole essay and it just kind of seems neutral, right? Everybody knows this word neutral, so this and that, either this or that. People generally don't like to read neutral information. That's the reason why the news, when you turn it on, it's usually super negative, right? The world's coming to an end. Everybody is going to perish from COVID. This terrible event has happened. The news is never neutral. The news is never like, well, today there are good things happening and bad things happening. Let's talk a little bit about both so we get a balance in life. Ironically, that would be the best. People would be maybe a little bit more calm or calmer and more content. But ironically, people just probably wouldn't watch the news. Okay, so negative news primarily, and then positive news holds people's attention, right? So people aren't drawn to neutral, okay? Or they're not drawn to lack of opinion. All right. So, okay, let's get going with that. So just kind of putting that seed, that idea into your mind, that psychology into your mind of how humans work, right? Okay. Carolina also makes a good point, is that the examiner doesn't know your position until the conclusion, which is not ideal. Okay. Janelle writes, traveling around different places during festive seasons for the person is the most satisfying when one can manage time and money. Okay, very good. Yeah, so for many individuals, including myself, okay, and then let's just grab what Janelle's written here. Janelle, that was really good. Okay, so this is coming from our member, Janelle. Let me clear that. make it a 14. And we're off to the races. There you go. So Janelle, I just took what you wrote there and plopped it right in. And all I did, Janelle, is I added this part to what you wrote in the chat to, again, emphasize my opinion, right? So for many individuals, comma, including myself, right? So again, I'm showing that it's a first-person essay, first-person voice. And now we're continuing, traveling around different places during the festive season or during a festive season. I can take this out now because I have at the beginning for many individuals is the most satisfying when one can manage time and money. And this is that extra piece of information, right? When one can manage time and money, right? Okay. Oh, I see, because you wrote plural there, during festive seasons. Okay, Gino, yeah, that's fine. We can do that. So let's take out the and let's put seasons back in there. Yeah, very good. Okay, I didn't catch that plural there. Very good, Janil. Kyber writes, a lot of individuals support the motive of traveling during holidays as satisfaction since they want to discover and meet new people. Yeah, Kyber, you want to phrase that a little bit differently. So you have the right idea for the topic sentence, but you're a little bit off with your wording and your grammar. Okay, so this is Kyber here. Kyber, individuals, once you're already writing, it's a small I, okay? Don't accidentally capitalize proper nouns. That is a mistake. Sorry, not proper nouns, common nouns. So if you're capitalizing common nouns like individuals in the middle of a sentence, it is considered a mistake. Okay, so don't do that. And try not to be so wordy, Kyber. So a lot of individuals support the motive of traveling. Instead of support the motive, that's a bit confusing, it's unclear English. A lot of individuals get satisfaction from traveling during the holidays as, and then we don't need this, as they want to discover and meet new people. Okay, Kyber, we don't discover people, we meet new people, we discover new places. Okay, so this would be your correct sentence here, Kyber. A lot of individuals get satisfaction from traveling during holidays as they want to discover new places and meet new people. Okay, does that make sense, Kyber? Hopefully it does. Okay. Arminder writes, certainly some individuals prefer to spend holidays outside because of their advantage, nature, and own satisfaction to gain new experience. Okay, Arminder, I'll show you how you can make this better. Okay, so again, students, you're working on being concise. So this is Arminder here. And again, don't be wordy, right? You've got lots of information that you have to write. You need a topic sentence, you need a good explanation, you need a good example, and so that, you know, it's going to take some time, right? So you want to be concise, right? You want to express as clearly and with as much detail, but with as few words as possible. So, so certainly, some individuals prefer to spend their holidays abroad. Outside doesn't really make sense because outside can mean that I'm just going outside my home, so you wouldn't say that naturally, okay? And Adimo, Farhan, Vedat, please try these topic sentences as well. So some individuals prefer to spend their holidays abroad because this part here, Amrinder, is completely unnecessary because of their advantage nature. Advantage nature doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what you mean by advantage. So be really careful, students, with your word choice, okay? Because they want to gain new experience, as this helps them to refresh mentally. Okay, so yeah, you want to give more detail, and gaining experience while traveling during the holidays is definitely a bit more detail. So you're explaining why people are doing that. You're saying that, you know, they can get refreshed or they can relax while doing this. Okay, so that's going to be much more accurate. All right. Okay. So, Mi says, for many individuals, including myself, spending the holidays out and about during holidays is the best option due to the longer break and joyful experience. Okay, Mi, you also could make that a little bit simpler with the same information. Notice me how you're using the word holidays awkwardly twice. Okay. Bandita writes, for certain individuals, including myself, opting to travel during the holidays and to explore new places with family and friends is ideal. Bandita, not bad. Okay, you have some grammatical mistakes there. Robin Hood writes, some individuals like being outdoors and often spend their holidays camping, hiking, and indulging in other activities. Robin, that sounds more like the explanation. Okay, coming up. All right. So Andre says, most of the culture of the world have so much celebration, and every individual has their own idea where to spend the holidays. Andre, that's not a topic sentence. That's more for the introduction. That sounds like the background. You're not giving me any new information. Okay? So make sure, Andre, that for your topic sentence, you're introducing new information. Okay? All right. And please make sure to use English in the chat over in the General English Help channel. Okay, so here are a couple examples of, you know, how you can improve this. All right, so let's write the explanation. So now, once you've finished the topic sentence, then you basically explain it. And this is why it's really important, students, that you have a good topic sentence, because everything is connected. So your thesis has to be really good because your thesis gives birth to your body paragraph. Your topic sentence has to be really good because your topic sentence gives rise to your explanation. Your explanation has to be really good because your explanation leads into your example, right? So it's all kind of this connected concept. And if you have a weak part, we could say a weak link in the chain, then it weakens the whole essay. Does that make sense? So if you have a weak topic sentence, for instance, it weakens the whole essay. It weakens your body paragraph. It takes away from your introduction. So Band 8, Band 9 essays really have good components throughout the entire essay. Okay? Unfortunately or fortunately, that's just the nature of it, right? Is even if you have one weak part in your essay, it will weaken the overall essay in reality, especially at the highest levels. Is everybody clear on that? So everybody's got that, right? So if you have any weak part in your essay, it actually weakens the whole essay. Okay, hi Arda. Andre says, okay. All right, so you want to make sure that you're making each and every component of your essay as strong as possible. Okay? All right, here we go. So for many individuals, including myself, traveling around different places during the festive season is the most satisfying when one can manage time and money. Indeed, employees in good salary positions can take 2 weeks for holidays and have the thousands of dollars necessary to pay for flights, hotels, and other expenses to relax and enjoy their time. Okay? All right? So this is my explanation, and here this explanation is obviously quantifying the information as well, okay, so using numbers, all right, like thousands of dollars, okay. So right now I'm just flowing. I'm flowing from the topic sentence into the explanation, and if we reread this, it makes a lot of sense. So for many individuals, including myself, traveling around different places during the festive season is the most satisfying when one can manage time and money. Indeed, employees in good salary positions can take 2 weeks for holidays and have thousands of dollars, which are necessary to pay for flights, hotels, and other expenses to relax and enjoy their time. All right. So as an engineer for Aramco, I get 14 days during the end of the year, which I usually spend traveling to Hawaii for relaxation on the beach. And this cost me around $5,000 US. Okay, so now because I'm writing first person and I'm including my opinion as well, I'm using a personal example here. Okay, all right. So here, I've basically taken my explanation and I've turned it into a real life visible kind of example. Why am I doing that? Well, the question asks me for that, okay? So really pay attention to the question, students. So the question, the original task 2 question here says, use examples and explanations from your own experience, okay? So traveling to Hawaii is my own experience. It's not actually true. I don't actually work for Aramco, as you can tell. I'm teaching IELTS online. And I didn't actually travel to Hawaii, and I didn't actually spend $5,000 to relax on the beach, but I'm just making that up. Okay, IELTS is not about the truth. It's just about making a good argument for this essay. Okay, all right. Okay, and then now I want a connecting, concluding a sentence. All right? So, nevertheless, when such time and money is unavailable, it is certainly a better choice to spend the holidays at home. Okay? So that's my connecting and concluding a sentence, and that leads me into the key point of my next body paragraph, my body paragraph 2. Okay? All right, so let's see what we have here. Janil writes, when an individual who has a 1-week leave and enough budget for the holiday trip during the festive season, such as Diwali, Holi, and Eid, a person can spend time delightfully with family and friends. Okay, Janil, let me take that for a second. Okay, so these were topic sentences. Okay. I should probably write TO so you don't confuse it with the thesis. Okay. Or maybe top, like that. And now Janelle is giving me the explanation here. Okay, Janelle, so if I'm your examiner, this is what I would do here with your explanation. So when an individual who has a 1-week leave and enough budget for the holiday trip during the festivals, okay, this is repetitive. Okay. It's repeating the introduction, Janelle. So we already have this information in the introduction. Don't repeat information in your essay, students, or your mark will go down. It's very, very hard to get a band 8, even a band 7.5, if you have information that keeps repeating in your essay. Okay. A person can spend time delightfully with family and friends. This is confusing. Because this is key point 2. Okay, so you're losing coherence for that. So Janelle, this sentence isn't really giving me more of an explanation or a better idea than what I already have in the first parts of my essay and my introduction. Okay, your body paragraphs should be giving new information to the reader. All right. Okay. Let's take what Mi Yen is writing here. Okay, Mi. Let's see this one. So all right, this is me. Okay, Janelle, thank you for giving me feedback, and that's helpful for me to tell me that you're picking this up. Okay, so this is me for the explanation. So Mi writes, workers can enjoy a longer break to another cities or countries on holidays than the weekends, which maybe takes them a whole week rather than just 1 or 2 days. Moreover, as they can travel for a longer time, they can experience more and gain more cultural intelligence. Okay, so it looks like, okay, so this is an explanation, but it almost looks like a topic sentence as well, Me. And you have a lot of repetition. So workers can enjoy a longer break, okay, than other cities or countries on holidays than the weekends. Okay. So longer break than the weekends, right? Me? Which maybe takes them a whole week rather than just 1 or 2 days. Longer break than the weekends. Moreover, as they can travel for a longer time, longer break than the weekends, they can experience and gain more cultural experience. Okay. So all of this, Me, is repetition. You're basically just giving me the same idea over and over and over again. And this kind of repetition, it doesn't allow you to get into more diverse and detailed information that would lead to better writing. It's redundancy, it's confusing, and it's considered lower level of writing. So you have to get into more details. Okay. So I would write something like this, if I stuck with your information. So workers can enjoy 2-week holidays rather than just 2 weekend days to truly explore far away places and gain cultural experiences by attending live shows, local restaurants, and nature walks, let's say. I want to keep going. All right. So notice, Me, that I basically have all of the information that you have and much, much more, right? Because rather than repeating the information, what I'm doing is I'm thinking about what are those experiences? What is that cultural immersion that I'm experiencing during that 2 weeks rather than just the 2 days? Okay. All right. Does that make sense, Me? So, and now I can still give an example. So, Last year, I visited Hawaii for 14 days, and I ate lots of pineapples, did traditional Maui dancing, and explored the volcanoes. Okay, so now I'm just translating that into that specific example. Okay, all right. And he says, got it. And notice how your explanation is almost the same length as my explanation and my example together, right? I've got a little bit more, but not much more, but I've got tons more information in there. Okay, so be careful about that, students. Okay, be careful about details. Me says, got it. Okay, very good, me. All right, learn from each other as well. Okay, so now I can get into body paragraph 2. In body paragraph 2, it is ideal to stay at home when it's needed and enjoyed. So this is my second body paragraph, right? Let's make it pink. Okay, so I've already done my connecting concluding sentence. Nevertheless, when such time and money is unavailable, it is certainly a better choice to spend the holidays at home. Clearly, the primary goal of a holiday well spent is to refresh physically and mentally, and not stress about overspending. If an individual does not make enough money throughout the year and does not have thousands of dollars for travel fare and lodging, it is wiser to stay at home and enjoy the company of family. Let's not overdo it, okay? So I can give a little bit more explanation. In 2020, many people suffered financial loss due to the COVID pandemic, and this greatly restricted their ability to travel for the holidays. Indeed, then here comes my example. Indeed, last year I had to take a pay cut and I could not afford going to Hawaii. So rather than stressing, I spent Christmas at home with my family and we had a great time. Okay, and I'm also using my, I put that in the wrong place, but anyway, let's take that out. Okay, and put that in the right place. Okay, end of body paragraph 2. So that's my body paragraph 2. Notice how I'm linking my example as well. So when I write my second example, I'm kind of just being very creative and imaginative, and I'm linking my second example to my first example. Okay, and now I'm ready for my conclusion. I'm not writing any kind of concluding or connecting sentence for body paragraph 2 because I'm writing a conclusion right now. And with a conclusion coming up after a body paragraph, it's not necessary to have a connecting sentence. You don't need to connect to your conclusion because you start your conclusion with "in conclusion," and then you write, and that's already your conclusion, so you don't need more there, okay? Your conclusion is also made up of a few key elements, so it's got your main points restated or paraphrased, okay? It's got your argument strengthened, and then it's got a take-home message. All right, so those are the 3 parts of your conclusion. Your conclusion should not repeat your introduction. Okay, keep that in mind, everyone. So, okay. All right. Okay, Arminder, so I'm going to take it's your second body paragraph topic. Okay, so this is Arminder's second body paragraph topic. I'm just taking this out of the chat here. So Arminder writes, however, others like to stay at home to spend some quality time with their family and celebrating those festivals with their loved ones. Mostly this is just a repeat of your introduction. The only bit of extra information, Amrinder, that you have here is quality time, okay, which is okay, but in my opinion, you should have a bit more unique information in your topic sentence, all right? I feel like this is really just repeating a bit of the introduction more than anything. So make your topic sentence clearly more detailed for your reader. Okay? All right? Okay, students, so let's do this conclusion. So my main points restated. So in conclusion, certain individuals prefer to explore distant places during their holidays, while others opt to rejuvenate at home. Rejuvenate means to relax and to recharge your batteries. If you want to use that idiom, opt to recharge their batteries, that would be good here as well. So here I'm just paraphrasing my key points, okay, my main points of my thesis statement. For the most part, I believe that this choice depends on each individual. And I'd really like to avoid the word depends. So even though it works here, I would still use another word, rests. Okay? We have an expression, your choice rests with you. So it rests with each individual. Okay? So I believe that this choice rests with each person, depending, again, depending, right? Let's try to avoid that word, each person, in relation to. The reason I avoid depends is because that's kind of a trigger word for a lot of teachers, professors, examiners of like, oh no, it depends, right? So any other word other than depends. So this choice rests with each person in relation to their financial status and available energy and time. Okay? And then the take-home message. Ultimately, The goal of a great holiday season is to be happy, healthy, and stress-free. Okay, so I'm just going to finish with that take-home message. And now I'm going to read, when I'm practicing this at home, I'm going to read my original task 2 question. Okay, here it is. And then I'll read my whole essay just to make sure that it makes sense and that it's accurate and I'm not repeating too many ideas too often, okay, or any ideas too often. Here we go. IELTS writing task 2. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Some people feel the best way to spend a holiday season like Eid, Christmas, or Diwali is to travel and explore, while others feel this time is better spent at home relaxing. Discuss both of these views and give your own opinion. Use examples and explanations from your own experience. Write at least 250 words. Okay, so here we go. From the introduction, okay, this is where the introduction starts. People often argue about the best ways to spend the holidays. Most individuals get a week or more break from work and school during holiday season, such as Christmas, Eid, or Diwali, to spend personal time either at home or on a trip. It is important that every person feels refreshed and happy after the festive season. Therefore, it is better to go away for the holidays when this is the most rewarding for the individual. However, it is ideal to stay at home when this is needed and enjoyed. I mostly favor the former rather than the latter because it is the most fulfilling for me. For many individuals, including myself, traveling around different places during the festive season is the most satisfying when one can manage time and money. Indeed, employees in good salary positions, it's actually salaried positions, can take 2 weeks for holidays and have the thousands of dollars which are necessary to pay for flights, hotels, and other expenses to relax and enjoy their time. As an engineer for Aramco, I get 14 days during the end of the year, which I usually spend traveling to Hawaii for relaxation on the beach. I would say for relaxing on the beach, and this costs me around $5,000 US. Nevertheless, when such time and money is unavailable, it is certainly a better choice to spend the holidays at home. Clearly, the primary goal of a holiday well spent is to refresh physically and mentally and not stress about overspending. If an individual does not make enough money throughout the year and does not have thousands of dollars for travel, fare, and lodging, it is wiser to stay at home and enjoy the company of family. In 2020, many people suffered financial loss due to the COVID pandemic, and this greatly restricted their ability to travel for the holidays. Indeed, last year I had to take a pay cut and I could not afford going to Hawaii. So rather than stressing, I spent Christmas at home with my family, and we had a great, if you want to use some pop culture here, staycation. It's a new word in the English language. In conclusion, certain individuals, oh, by the way, staycation, it's a vacation where you stay at home. Staycation. Notice how even the spell check in Word did not highlight that. In conclusion, certain individuals prefer to explore distant places during their holidays, while others opt to rejuvenate at home. For the most part, I believe that this choice rests with each person in relation to the financial status, and available energy and time. Ultimately, the goal of a great holiday season is to be happy, healthy, and stress-free. That's my take-home message. All right. Andre, I'm not sure if that little face means you're confused, but hopefully it was clear for most people. So that's what a Band 8, Band 9 essay reads like, okay? And it's roughly about 320 words, I would say, if I counted. I can do a little bit of highlighting here and figure that out. Yeah, if I take out all of my unnecessary words, explanations, and so on, it's about 350 words. Okay, all right. So roughly 350 words. So students, that's task 2, and that's how that works. So that's what you want to practice at home. Have good structure. Make sure each part of the essay links together strongly. Make sure that you're avoiding repetition. When you review your essays and you realize that, oh, I'm just kind of repeating some ideas here, think about how you can reduce that repetition and include more information and detail for your writer. Okay? All right. Mian, stating your opinion depends on the structure of your essay. Because here I agreed in the introduction with the former rather than the latter, that's why I had my opinion. But notice how my opinion kind of resonates throughout the entire essay. So I have my opinion in the beginning here. I have it in a body paragraph 1. I usually spend traveling. And even in the example of body paragraph 2 of not having enough money last year, I still have my opinion in there. Okay. And then in the conclusion, I don't emphasize my opinion, but it's kind of there with the choice rests with each person. And myself personally, as I mentioned in the beginning, I like to travel abroad, right? So but you're right, I could maybe make it even better by emphasizing my opinion a bit more in my conclusion. Okay. Thank you, Carolina, for moderating the chat. Thank you, members, for your support. Again, everybody, make sure that you go and visit our websites. This is gieltshelp.com, and you click on this big red button to join the premium package. For the academic IELTS, it's this blue background. We're going to use this website in the next lesson that's coming up in 30 minutes. I'm going to speak with some of our viewers so that we can practice IELTS Speaking Part 1. So make sure that you're here for that. Okay, so click that red button. It's well worth it. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, and it's like 1/10 the cost of the IELTS exam. So why not maximize your score, right? You're investing so much time, effort, money already anyways. All right, students, that's it for me for right now, but I'll be back in 30 minutes with some Speaking Part 1 questions and practice. Again, aehelp.com, Academic IELTS, gieltshelp.com, General IELTS, Academic IELTS Help, and General IELTS Help apps from your app stores. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm Adrian. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.